Hello there, people of the internet. Viewer request, I was asked if I do any old school oddball guns. So whenever it comes to old school oddball guns, like that leaves some interpretation. Typically, if it's an old school gun, it's going to be a Mauser variant. It's going to be like, well, I was going to say a 1903, but that is a Mauser variant. It's going to be a 98 Mauser variant, a 1903, maybe a 1917 in 30-06, a Lee Enfield, be it number 1 or number 4, or a Mosin Nagant. Like, those are your typical go-to military surplus firearms here inside the United States. But there's so many other options out there on the YouTube channel that I have made and done and shown off. Like, whenever it comes to old school oddball guns, have you not seen the channel? Like, I do all sorts of stuff whenever it comes to old school oddball guns. This right here is my last ditch 7.7 Jap rifle. I actually did, like, this is my first day out here filming with this thing. 7.7 Jap is not exactly a common cartridge to come across. One second, I got this giant bug flying around me. Welcome to Florida. 7.7 Jap is not a common cartridge to come across. You typically have to find it in batches, maybe find some brass and load it yourself, or make your own out of 30-06 brass. So this right here is definitely what I would consider an oddball old school gun, just because it's not something that you see very often. Now, there is still commercially available 7.7 Jap out there, so you could go out and get yourself some 7.7 Jap if you had, you know, a 7.7 Jap rifle. While they're still making ammo, there's no guarantee that that's going to continue forever. In my particular case, I'm a reloader. I load my own ammunition, including 7.7 Jap. I'm just going to go ahead and send a round of 7.7 Jap downrange. I don't really have a particular target set up. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go lean my steel up real quick. I'll be right back. Steel silhouette sent to me by one of you guys. If you want to send me something, shoot me an email and we will work something out. So I got myself a steel target up there. 7.7 Jap's not something that you see shot very often nowadays at all. It is definitely one of those old school oddball guns. It's just not something that a lot of people have, and the people that do have it, not a lot of them actually shoot it. It's because ammunition is a little bit on the harder side to find. Aha! I was a little afraid that I might have pulled that one, but looks like I didn't pull it enough to be able to hit it. Now, it's not just like, oh, how would I describe this? It's not just old school Japanese guns that I delve with. Like, you can go and look on the YouTube channel. I got all sorts of old school oddball things that nobody's ever heard of. Like this right here is a 7.65 Argentine, which I lugged out here and neglected to bring some ammunition for. But this right here is a 7.65 Argentine, which is another example of a rifle that you just don't see shot very often. Like, for the most part, if you see someone out shooting a Mauser, it's going to be a 93 pattern or a 98 pattern. Those are going to be your more common ones. You might see the occasional M95 or M96, but you just don't see 7.65 Mausers out there anymore, like 7.65 Argentine Mausers. It's just not something that is all that common of an occurrence for people to shoot. But I have videos on my YouTube channel of me taking this particular rifle out to the gun range and shooting it. It was a great time. So another example of an old school oddball gun. Most of the time you're going to see people come out with something like an AR in 223-556. This right here is like the most common YouTuber gun because it's the most common gun. This is what most people are going to be looking up whenever they're looking up guns on YouTube. This is not an old school oddball gun, so it's not really fitting my niche, which is definitely old school oddball guns. This actually, I guess with the Mosin's sling on this, it kind of does fall into that category a little bit, I guess. But this right here is not really my forte. I still make AR content from time to time, but you guys know what I'm about. Anyone who's been here with the channel for any length of time, they know what I am about. Now, it's not just rifles. I mean, I got this Winchester 1897. Most of the time, whenever you see people shooting 12-gauge shotguns on the internet, it's going to be a single shot because those are dirt cheaping all over the place. Or it's going to be a Mossberg or a Remington. Like, those are typically what people go after because that's what's modern produced, and those are everywhere. Not very often you see a Winchester 1897 out on the gun range. This is the one that has the slam fire capabilities. Slam fire is absolutely worthless. Anyone who's ever tried slam fire knows that it's absolutely worthless because you can't hit anything after that first firing sequence. You're better off just using this as a normal pump action shotgun, which I will do right now. I'm just going to aim for that target I got out there. Okay, there's that one. There's that one. Do I have any more ammo in here? No. That is all of my 12 gauge shotgun shells. So there we go. This is an example of an old school oddball gun. It's not really that much of an oddball gun. They do exist out there. It's just not something that you see all that commonly. I definitely lean more towards military surplus rifles myself, and like the more unusual ones are the ones that I prefer. As a matter of fact, I have video footage of me shooting an 8x50 Steyr 8890, which is the rifle that came out before the Steyr M95 and the cartridge that came before the 8x56 Steyr, which is by a huge margin way more popular than the 8x50 variant. So yeah, I really like shooting that rifle and cartridge just because it is old school and unusual. I'm actually working right now on reloading a 10.4 Vetterli. Wow, that is a really large grasshopper over there. I'm working right now on reloading 10.4 Vetterli, which is an old school black powder cartridge firing round, like it's an old school black powder cartridge. And I'm trying to work out a loading and get whatever dies I can for it. It's a process. It's a process. I'm figuring it out. Trust me, I'll make it work. But that is an example of an old school oddball gun, because I think there's only like 2 or 3 videos of people firing correct ammunition out of one of those. It's just not something that you see very often. So yes, I absolutely do old school oddball guns on this YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, that is a majority of the things that I have done on this YouTube channel. Old school oddball guns. That's just what I do. So that is my take on this particular topic. I wanted to make a video on it because that's kind of what the discussion led to. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garen. Shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.